it down. I'm telling you right now.
Hey, adrenaline junkies. Welcome to Police Chase. Today, we're launching a brand new series, When People Mess with the Wrong Cops. Every reckless decision sparks an immediate response, and justice wastes no time. Let's dive in.
Don't do it. Stop. You're gonna... So I gotta do this.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Put that down. Put it down. Put it down. Put it down.
Chillicothe, Ohio. On the 17th of November, 2022, just after 5 p.m., Sergeant Eric Cochran stepped outside the Ross County Law Enforcement Complex in Chillicothe, Ohio, after a man knocked on the rear entrance. The man claimed someone had threatened his family and was forcing him to hurt kids, prompting the deputy to assess what appeared to be a rapidly unfolding crisis.
Hi.
Hey, buddy. Can you help me out something real quick? Can you get a couple more officers?
What's going on?
Somebody said they're going to hurt my family. They wanted me to hurt kids, and I can't do it.
Okay.
So I got to do this.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Without further warning, the suspect reached for a handgun and raised it toward the deputy. Faced with an immediate deadly threat, Sergeant Cochran moved toward the doorframe for cover and returned fire, consistent with officers' training when confronted with lethal force.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Put that down. Put it down. Put it down. Put it down, buddy. Put it down.
So I got to do this.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Put that down. Put it down. Put it down. Put it down, buddy. Put it down.
After the exchange, Sergeant Cochran retreated inside the building and immediately realized he had been shot. He radioed that he had been hit in the chest before collapsing as responding units rushed toward the scene. Responding officers approached cautiously behind a ballistic shield, secured the suspect's firearm, and placed him in handcuffs before beginning medical care. Even after a shooting, officers are trained to first eliminate any remaining threat before transitioning to life-saving measures. Medical efforts continued for both men until EMS arrived. The suspect, 42-year-old Nicholas Mitchell, later died from his injuries at the hospital, while Sergeant Cochran survived a gunshot wound that damaged his lung, bruised his heart, and passed through his liver before making a lengthy recovery after multiple surgeries.
Don't do it. Put it down, I'm telling you right now. Put it down. Don't.
Tucson, Arizona. On the 24th of February, 2024, just after 10 p.m., Pima County Sheriff's deputies responded to a Tucson hotel after employees reported a man outside waving a sword. Before deputies made contact, surveillance cameras captured the armed subject pacing the motel walkway with a sheathed katana. As deputies approached, the man, later identified as 23-year-old Devin Lewis, kept the sword in his hands, despite repeated commands to put it on the ground.
Put it down, lay it on the ground, or yeah. You gotta call us. Yeah, saying that you're screaming, waving the sword and stuff. What's that?
I swear I'm not screaming.
No, that's fine. I mean, I didn't hear you scream when I pulled up. That's just what the call is
Listen
referencing.
to me now. Listen to me, Holmes. Now you listen to me, dog. Oh yeah. What's going on?
Deputies maintained distance while attempting to slow the encounter and assess his behavior, as Lewis responded with incoherent statements.
No, I mean, that's not the case, man. Like I said, we're here to see what's going on. All right, it's not every day that somebody's out at a hotel waving a katana. You know what I mean? You're what?
I'm related to Dionysus and everything.
So what are you doing?
I'm practicing my way with the katana so I can become better at combat.
Are you not able to do that in the comfort of your room? Yeah, leave it there, dude.
Without warning, Lewis gripped the sword with both hands, raised it into a striking position, and advanced toward the deputies. Officers are trained to respond with deadly force when an edged weapon presents an immediate threat, capable of causing serious bodily injury or death.
Are you not able to do that in the comfort of your room? Yeah, leave it there, dude. Don't do it.
Put it down,
I'm telling
man.
you right now.
Put it down.
Don't. 695, shots fired, shots fired.
Once the threat ended, deputies immediately transitioned from force to medical aid, using their individual first aid kits until paramedics arrived. Lewis was later pronounced dead at the scene, while no deputies or bystanders were injured. The deputy who fired, Ramon Morales, had approximately 1 year of service with the Pima County Sheriff's Department.
No! Please. Please don't do it!
Troup County, Georgia. On a Monday afternoon in Troup County, Georgia, Deputy Michael Hockett responded to a welfare check after a father reported his adult son was experiencing a mental health crisis. Reaching the property, a locked gate forced the deputy to continue the check on foot. With the patrol car left at the entrance, the deputy moved deeper into the property to locate the resident.
Clear.
Although the confrontation occurs off camera, the audio captures the encounter rapidly escalating from verbal commands to gunfire. Minutes later, a pickup truck arrived at the locked gate, and the suspect entered the property armed with a shotgun.
Log that vehicle in the driveway fast and be able to get.
As Deputy Hockett shouted commands to drop the weapon, the situation immediately became a deadly force encounter. The suspect opened fire, striking Deputy Hockett with shotgun pellets.
No! Please don't do it!
While retreating toward cover, the deputy returned fire, striking the suspect in the shoulder. Officers are trained to use deadly force when confronted with an immediate threat capable of causing death or serious bodily harm. After reaching his patrol vehicle, Deputy Hockett withdrew to a safer position while coordinating backup and medical assistance. Both Hockett and the suspect, Edmondson, survived their injuries. Edmondson later surrendered following a lengthy standoff and was charged with attempted murder, aggravated assault, false imprisonment, and additional related offenses. Little Rock, Arkansas, after multiple 911 callers reported a bicyclist riding on interstate traffic. Arkansas State Police Trooper Shoemate located the rider and attempted to stop him. Instead of complying, the bicyclist accelerated along the shoulder, turning a public safety call into an active pursuit.
And he's fleeing from me going the wrong way.
As the rider suddenly cuts across every lane toward the median, the danger escalates instantly. Interstate pursuits involving vulnerable road users are handled cautiously because unpredictable movements leave both officers and passing motorists with almost no reaction time.
He just got hit by car. Northbound.
238 on my street.
Come on.
The moment the collision ends, the enforcement action shifts to emergency medical care. Trooper Shoemate checks for injuries, keeps the rider from moving, and directs the involved driver to reposition safely while preserving the scene for responding units. Additional troopers establish a traffic perimeter while EMS is dispatched. Once the scene is stabilized, investigators begin documenting the pursuit and confirming the rider's identity before any enforcement action continues. EMS transported the bicyclist, identified as Joseph Smith, for treatment after he sustained non-life-threatening injuries. Trooper Shoemate advised that Smith would be taken into custody after his release from the hospital, with fleeing among the charges stemming from the incident.
There's a guy with a knife just walking around, and he has a bottle in the other hand.
Was it this?
Morgan Hill, California. Just after midnight, on the 18th of April, 2025, Morgan Hill police responded to a Safeway on East Dunn Avenue after reports of an armed man refusing to leave. Surveillance confirmed 40-year-old Sean Hillman moving through the store carrying a large kitchen knife and a wine bottle as officers entered to locate him.
Bring Leslito. Leslito. You want to drop the knife for me? Want to drop it? So far, refusing commands. Drop the knife.
Hillman refuses every command and escalates by throwing wine bottles at officers while retreating deeper into the store.
Did he? Hey, what happened? What happened? Did he hit you? Did he hit you?
Yeah, drop the knife. Drop the knife.
Drop it.
Drop the knife. Failure to comply with our commands may result
Drop
in
it.
Hey, you're gonna get taped!
Drop
You're gonna
it.
get taped!
Less lethal beanbag rounds are deployed in an effort to stop the threat while giving him another opportunity to surrender, a tactic intended to resolve armed encounters without deadly force whenever possible. Officers contain Hillman inside the wine aisle before he moves toward the meat department, where they continue maintaining distance and issuing commands. During the standoff, officers discover a victim suffering from a head injury after being struck with a wine bottle, confirming the threat had already turned violent before police arrived.
Stop! Stop it now! Stop it! Stop! Stop!
The situation changes in seconds when Hillman grabs a large bag of dog food as a shield and charges toward an officer while still armed with the knife. Facing an immediate deadly threat at close range, the officer fires to stop the assault.
270 shots fired. Get down! Stop! 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 Just stop! Get down! Get down on your knees!
After Hillman falls, officers immediately secure him in handcuffs and transition to emergency medical care while requesting EMS to enter the store. Hillman, 40, was transported to a hospital in stable condition with non-life-threatening injuries, while the assault victim was also hospitalized for a head injury. No officers were injured during the incident.